All right, so the Texans get the win today. Big win versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's get into it. Bengals made a great comeback at the end of this game to tie it up at 27-27. But honestly, it shouldn't have been that close. I mean, if it's not for the bonehead, one bad play by CJ Stroud with that interception on third down at the end of the game, and if it's not for the refs in this game keeping the Bengals literally in it, then this would have been a blowout. I mean, Texans should have probably scored 40 in this game. I mean, let's just go over some of these missed calls or bad calls by the refs that literally kept the Bengals in it all game. So early on in the game, we saw Joe Burrow get hit in the head with a hand to the helmet by Anderson. And of course, they called that roughing the passer, rightfully so. But then what happens later on in the game when CJ Stroud's getting sacked? You got a defender coming on the backside of him as two other defenders are holding CJ trying to get him down, right? Defender comes on the backside right with the crown of the helmet into CJ's helmet. No call. No pass interference. Or sorry, not pass interference, roughing the passer. None whatsoever. That would have put the Texans, that was a third down play, ended up becoming a fourth down because it was a sack. That would have put the Texans in the red zone with a first down. Then you got the awful, play that C.J. Stroud threw the ball and it was an incomplete pass, but the refs decided to call it a fumble on the field. I mean, you can literally see C.J. Stroud's throwing the ball forward. The ball went forward. That's not a fumble. He still had control of the ball. The ball can be moving. If he still has control of the ball and is able to move it forward, that is not a fumble. He literally threw the ball. But we call that a fumble, so we miss out on another at least 3 points right there. Then on another drive, you got C.J. Stroud throwing the ball to Schultz. It's a third down play. And go back and watch it. DB for Cincinnati clearly commits a pass interference. Doesn't allow Schultz to catch the ball. And, of course, again, no call. Would have been a first down and goal with the PI call. Instead, it's fourth down. So, again, another call keeping the Bengals in the game. Then on another drive, you had C.J. Stroud get sacked on his blind side, didn't see it coming. And the defender literally lands clean on C.J. Stroud, all of his weight right on C.J. Stroud's back. You're not allowed to do that. As a defender, you have to try to force your weight off of the quarterback when bringing them down, not land completely on them. We saw many quarterbacks getting shoulder injuries from the defender bringing all their weight onto the quarterback when bringing them down. That is supposed to be a roughing the passer call. Again, no call. But then on the same breath, the Bengals were getting some ticky-tack PI calls going their way, which were way less egregious than what the Bengals were committing. But, of course, the Bengals were getting those calls. And then, of course, we had another touchdown that was taken off the board, and we had to settle for 3 because of a out-of-bounds call on our receiver, who they say he stepped out of bounds. I remember you used to be able to step out of bounds and then come back in as long as you reestablish yourself back in the field of play, and then you could catch the ball. I guess they changed that rule because now you can no longer be the first person to touch the ball. One of the dumbest rules in the NFL, by the way. I mean, if you're getting pushed out or you accidentally step on the out of bounds line with your heel and you completely reestablish yourself, to not be able to catch the ball is one of the dumbest rules I've ever seen. I mean, our receiver literally ran from one side of the end zone to the other after reestablishing himself before he caught the touchdown. But okay, we'll give the Bengals that one too. I mean, it was literally call after call after call after call keeping the Bengals in this game. Stroud and company was doing whatever they wanted on offense, up and down the field. Texans defense was playing great up until, last couple minutes of the game. I think this should have been a blowout, but at least the Texans still got the win. Let me know what you guys think. I just know I was getting so mad watching this game with all these bad refs calls. They gotta tighten this stuff up. It literally makes the NFL look scripted when you see these kind of calls continuously happening against one team to keep the other team clearly in the game. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, glad the Texans are 5-4. Maybe people will start taking them seriously like I did at the beginning of the year. Remember, go back, watch my videos. I said this was going to be a potential playoff team. They're proving it to everyone. We need to get Flex into a primetime game. Shout out to Jazzy TV. Great guy. He's a Bengals fan. Great content creator. Go follow him if you guys don't already. You won't be sorry that you did. He's a great TikTok creator. Anyway, go Texans.